Today we've got a really cool freebie to complement the For the Guys bundle that we just released last week. I have a few of the items here in front of me, including the nice little bag here and the suitcase box. There's also a card that goes with it. And of course, we wanted to include one more item for free that will allow you to give Dad, or actually, if you just kind of customize it a little bit, you can use it for other occasions, maybe even graduation, you know, a send-off for a child that's going to school, teenager. But this was intended for Father's Day with the way that it was designed. So let's take a look at what we have here. And I've got, well, it's a wallet, of course. And the wallet is kind of just like a real wallet. And it's made up of these two pieces. You'll notice that these are the same width, almost. One's a little bit shorter, and one's a little bit, well, thinner. It's not as tall, and that's going to be the inner part of our wallet. So first step is to take both of these pieces, and we did not include a score mark because, well, during the, well, assembly, not assembly process, but the actual design process, we found that if we included a score line, it would kind of cause these two pieces to fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to manually fold this. So you want to just kind of take the two ends and line them up together. And then you're just going to fold it, just naturally give it a nice fold right there. And then if you have a little bone folder, or in my case, I have this handy little silhouette tool, just give it a crease. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. I don't know what I just got on this thing. Looks a little strange. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Just kind of grab the two ends and get them together, line them up, and just kind of hold them right there and give that a fold. Just like that. Okay, so now this one is actually going to fold the other way, but that's fine. Okay, so they're going to sit like this, and we're going to glue these together. And what we're going to do is we're going to put glue. You can see what I've done actually before I move on here. I do want to mention that I did go ahead and stitch, and actually using a marker, filled in the stitches that your machine stitches for you. So you can see on these pieces, these are the little pockets that are going to hold, well, for one, a little sentiment. I found a little stamp. We're going to put that in as a little sentiment, and the other one is a little gift card holder. And then, of course, if you want to give cash or a gift certificate that is one of those paper gift certificates, you can actually put it into the pocket, the main pocket of the wallet. Okay, so anyway, we've got these folded, and obviously the top part here is square, the bottom is rounded, so that is how everything's going to go together. And what we're going to do is we're going to begin by putting glue just along the side of this, right along the edge. You want to try to keep the glue within the boundaries of the little score marks that are there. And then you don't want to put glue anywhere past right about there. You want to leave that part kind of open. And you'll probably notice that that sort of thing exists on a real wallet too. Okay, so I'm kind of going a little bit thick on the glue, because what I'm going to do, as usual, is kind of run that glue out to the very edge so that it's nice and tight. Okay, it's kind of drying pretty quick here, so I'm going to try to move quick. Okay. Get any excess off there. And again, just make sure that, well, on the front here, you'll notice that there are a set of score marks where the letter D is going to go. D, D, that's the top there. Okay, so you want to make sure that you get that aligned correctly. Okay, so let's get that in place. Just kind of scooch it into position. Make sure it's nice and flush there at the bottom. Okay. And kind of connect it there at the very end. A little bit of the center is going to be kind of loose like that, which is totally fine. That's actually by design. You want it like that. Otherwise, this thing will not fold properly. we're kind of like making a wallet here. Well, that's exactly what we're doing. It's just, it really wouldn't work any other way. Okay, so that looks pretty spot on. I had a little bit of it move here. So I'm going to try to just kind of nudge that back into place. Give that a few moments to dry before we go and fold it again. And that glue really set really quick. So I may need to go in and do some damage control, but I'm going to just hold that like that and give that glue a moment to set. And that's pretty much the main structure of our wallet. Okay, so you can see what that looks like. And that turned out pretty good, actually. Yeah, so that should not be like that, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and clean that up. I probably didn't get enough glue on there. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on a scrap piece of paper and literally just kind of paint that along the very bottom there. Wipe off any excess, and then I'm just going to press and hold that down for a moment and let that set. Okay. We just want about that much in the center there. You can see the little gap there. About that much that's not glued. And then obviously this part here also came apart a little bit, so I'm just going to touch that up with a little extra glue here. It's a very small area, so don't go, if you're painting like I am here with the glue to do the damage control, as I call it, don't go too far down. You don't want this thing completely glued shut because we still want to be able to get either some money or a gift card in here. Okay, so give that a moment to set. I've got everything nice and lined up here on the sides. We've got, you can see here that there's a lip that shows the front of our little wallet here, so that is perfect. Good size, okay? So that is that. I think I'm very happy with that. And now you'll also notice that on the inside here, there's a series of little score marks here, and that is to help you with the placement of our little pockets, which we're gonna do now. You'll notice that on both sides here, there's a series of little score marks to help you with the alignment of the little pockets that we've included. One for a little sentiment. I did a little stamp, and then I can sign it or write a little message. And then the other side for a standard size gift card, like this one from Buffalo Wild Wings. And finally, of course, if you happen to get one of the old school paper gift cards and want to pop it in there, or if you want to give Dad cash, which I don't think is a very common thing to do, but it's an option. And of course, if you repurpose this for like a graduation gift, maybe, of course you can put the cash in there. So anyway, the little marks here to help you with the placement of these pockets. Let's look at the pockets real quick. Now, I actually had to recut these because initially I had my Cricut. I used the score tool to score this, and I found that the score tool, I've mentioned this before, sometimes doesn't give me the depth that I want, and it's especially difficult with this because you've got score marks right next to it. So if it doesn't score it deeply enough, when you go to fold at these lines, you may accidentally fold them at the little stitch marks, which are, they look like score marks, but they're actually kind of just an aesthetic, an accent to kind of make it look more like a stitched wallet. So anyway, this is what your pieces are going to look like here. And what I did, and I mentioned this already, is I just went through with a very fine tip marker and I just drew over the little score marks here to create the stitch look. It's already there. If you don't want to do this, I think it's visible enough to where, well, for this, with this color it's not, so I would go over it with a marker. But maybe if you use a lighter paper, it might be more visible, but I still recommend going over it with a marker to make it look like actual stitch work there. Okay, so once you get your stitches all drawn in, again, we've got two pockets. They're kind of different, so you want to make sure that you put them in the right spot. Okay, now this one here, this one that is just plain with the 3 tabs, this is for the gift card. This is going to go on the right-hand side. Now this one's a little bit different. This is where our sentiment is going to go. And you'll notice that I did my stitching on the entire thing and also a little bit on the inside, because what's going to happen is we're going to glue these tabs in and fold this up, and we want the stitch work to kind of continue on the back of this little piece here. So let's glue this together, and we're just going to throw a little bit of glue right on these tabs here. Make sure you get that glue right out to the edge. We want that to look nice and clean. We don't want it pulling away. Okay, so go ahead and push those down a little bit and fold that in and press and hold for just a moment. Let that set. Okay, so there's our little pocket for our little sentiment. And I think when I photograph it, I'm going to kind of go like that, just so you get an idea for those that don't watch the video first. And of course, again, there are these little indicators here to help you with the alignment, so that when you get both of them in, they're on the same horizontal plane. Okay, so we're going to glue that down. We can put glue, and I guess I didn't really need to put, didn't need to draw the stitches in on the back there, but whatever, not a big deal. Got a little bit of practice in there before I did the actual ones that you're going to see. So no harm, no foul. And again, let's try to make sure that we get good coverage all the way around the edges. That is probably the most important part. We added a little bit there in the center just to make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. Okay. And just grab it. And again, take a look at where those little indicators are and do your best to just get them lined up. And then just press that down. I'm going to grab my little brayer here. I don't know why I don't use this thing more often. I should. And that's just going to help me apply some nice pressure all the way around here. Okay. Technically, you could do 2 gift cards if you wanted. So anyway, however you decide to use these pockets is completely up to you. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now with this one here, what we want to do is you want to obviously draw in the stitches, and then I'm using my little silhouette. This is actually like a vinyl tool. I'm using it as a bone folder, which is fine, just to kind of flatten that out to make it easier to put this into place here. Okay, so we're going to put our glue on these 3 tabs. And then I'm going to do a nice little line right out to the edges again. Maybe a little bit on top there. Spread that out to the very edge. There we go. Okay, and again, take a look for the little guides here to help you with the placement. That one, you can't really see that one very well, so I am just going to use the first one here and then try to just make sure that I have it lined up with the other one there. I'm going to press that down. Okay, there we go. And that looks nice. There goes our gift card. Perfect. Okay, so the pockets are done and the wallet is coming along here. Now, one other thing we need to do, this is our front. I'm going to take, and we've got this little piece here, and you'll notice that there are 2 little score marks pretty close to each other. So you want to fold it just like that. Okay, and we're going to take this smaller piece here and we're going to glue this to the back. You'll notice that there's a set of little score marks there on the back. So let's put our glue on this piece. You don't want to encroach into the area that contains the score marks for that little fold there. But you want to try to get your glue as close as possible to that area without going over. Okay. And then use the little guides here on the back of the wallet to line this piece up accurately. And you can put this flat on your surface and just press down. let that get a hold. And now I'm going to be using some little Velcro dots to keep this thing closed. Okay, so it's going to go like that. And we want the edge here to be pretty straight. You don't want it pulling in too much. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pull off the backing of my Velcro. And you'll notice that on the front here, there's a little circle. We've got a little gold piece that's going to go on there. I'll probably put some, well, probably just a gold pearl on there, but I would put the Velcro piece right in the same little area there on the back. Okay, I'm going to peel this off and then just fold it over and make sure it's straight. And there we go. Okay, and now there we go. So that's in the exact spot it needs to be to close perfectly. Okay, so that just leaves our little caption. And again, I mentioned if you want to change this up for another occasion, you can do so. We've got, let me grab my little pick-me-up tool. We're dealing with some small little pieces. I'm going to grab my little diamond piece here. And our little diamond piece is going to go off to the left side of our wallet. I'm just going to throw a little bit of glue on there. Probably just dab that a little bit with my finger so I don't get it shooting all over the place. And there are some little indicators here to help you with the placement of this piece as well. Ultimately, you want to just make sure that it's nice and vertically and horizontally aligned. You can kind of judge that based on the little points of the little diamond shape there. And now we'll take our little gold circle, and that's going to go right on top here where these little score marks are. Try to get that nice and centered within the little guides there. Okay. And finally, we just need to throw our little dad caption on here. And I'm going to go pretty easy on the glue here. Don't need a lot. This thing's going to stay in place pretty effortlessly. And again, there are a series of little score marks here to help you with the placement of the D's. Okay, and I'm just going to align that a little bit. Just make sure that I've got it right in the right spot. I'm going to do the two D's first, and then, you know, depending on your placement of the little band that kind of holds the wallet closed, you may need to kind of move the A slightly left or right, depending on how you have it situated. Okay, so let me see how that looks. That looks good. Right there. I think my D's kind of drooping a little bit. Okay, and our A, and then of course, once we have this all done, it wouldn't be complete without a little envelope, because this is kind of like a card, a really special card. Okay, and there are guides on here, but if you need to somewhat adjust it left or right, depending on how your strap is positioned, you can feel free to do so. And there we go. Okay, so there's our little wallet. Opens right up. Okay, we'll put our little sentiment, our little caption, our little note, whatever it may be, and our gift card. And then of course you can open this up, throw some money in there, gift card, whatever it may be, close it up and pop it into the envelope, which we are going to assemble now. So here is our envelope. Now I've already pre-folded off camera, so you want to go ahead and get everything folded. Now we're going to have this little piece here, this little contrasting piece, and you'll notice that it does kind of stick off just a little bit, just to add a little bit of color and a little bit of contrast. Okay, So what we want to do, let me flatten this out a little bit, is we're going to get our glue onto the flap here. So work some glue around the center. And then of course we're going to need, I'm just going to do dots and maybe a line here. I could do a line, I guess. And I am going to take my finger and just kind of soften that up a little bit. Okay, and then take this piece here. And if you want, what you can do is just kind of align it like so. Get it right into that little crevice where the score line is. And then just bring this down like that. And that should line up nicely for us. Okay, just braid that down. All right, so there's our pretty little flap, kind of coordinating stitches to go with the actual card itself. And then we're going to close this up. I'm going to bring in the left and right flaps and just do a little bit of glue right along the inside of these two flaps. Push this down and let that really get a hold. Okay. There we go. And there is our little coordinating envelope for our card, which fits in nicely. I should probably wait a little bit and let this thing dry, but there you go. Okay, there you go, all ready for Father's Day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube page. It lets me know that you enjoy hanging out and crafting with me. And if you make this or any of the products from our new For the Guys bundle, we'd love to see it. So join us in the official group on Facebook by doing a search for Dreaming Tree Group and join myself and almost 12,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So again, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to crafting with you again.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.